The following podcast is being brought to you by the Defy Life Podcast Network.
And I was like, yes, hi. I was so excited.
Oh, we said hi. Let me get that hi again.
Okay, hi.
A guy gets to a point and he asks you to marry him, he really wants to marry you.
Mm-hmm. He ready.
Like he really feels like, you know what, she's the one. She's the one.
You already getting the goods. You got to pay for it. Bring me the ring and get on one knee.
Okay.
Or two.
You need time to observe someone and really get a sense of how well do they treat you, how well do they handle adversity.
You're not the one because you don't have grit, the perseverance. You ain't really want me because you ready to give up. Because I said no. Nah, you shouldn't have asked. But since I said no, now it's your job to stay in the game and try to fight for it.
Boy, on 5 Heartbeats, when you make the announcement you're going solo at the awards ceremony.
What's up, y'all? Happy One Eye Shut Day. Welcome to the podcast that talks about many topics from the perspective of 3 married couples. You can listen to us on defylifepods.com, Spotify, iTunes, and all of the other popular podcast platforms. Happy to be here. You know, this is a podcast that gives you another reason to celebrate Wednesday. It's not just hump day, it's also One Eye Shut Day. And I'm at the point that I look forward to every Wednesday evening. I can't remember the last time that it was like Wednesday evenings that I looked forward to. So we have a great time every Wednesday. I get the opportunity to bond with the crew before the show, during the show, after the show. Sometimes the after the show conversation is so long until somebody is just like, yo, y'all, we got to go. We got to go. So for that, I'm grateful. So in fact, I'm just going to go ahead and get it started. My word of the day is grateful. I'm grateful for everything that I just said, but I'm also grateful that we have a strong following to this point. I want to say that we have reached that mark where we're number 1. We're number 10. What?
I'm not sure where we are numerically ranking-wise.
Well, we're way up there, but we got 10,000 followers. Downloads. You know, clearly I'm not up on all the lingo, right? That could be the same thing, though, right? Could be.
Okay, no.
Right? I'm just saying.
It's
it could be the same thing, but thanks for having my back, babe, making sure, you know, I'm saying the right words. But we've got 10,000 downloads. Has surpassed our expectations, and we just kind of, loving it. So I'm grateful for that. Earlier today, you know, Al gave me some news that had a pretty significant, I think, financial hit for us. But I'm grateful that, you know, it did not send us into a tailspin emotionally. You know, I'm grateful that we have the resources to cover. You know, there was a time where, like, we would have been devastated on several levels. So I'm just grateful. I'm grateful that, you know, we have a plan. And so, you know, it's all good. So glad to be here. We're getting ready to have a great show. I'm going to go ahead and let y'all do your introductions, give us your word of the day. Just go ahead and I'm going to let y'all just jump in. When you feel it, jump in. I'm going to start you off, though. Go ahead, Al, since you're looking at me. After Al, just go ahead and jump in.
So I think my word for the day is resigned. And in this idea that things are going to be, they're going to play out, and they just going to play out. Like, you know, people say it is what it is. And so I'm just resigned that, you know, I have these rules in my phone that I listen to and read every now and then. And rule 31 is you can't save every puppy in the pound. And I got some news about somebody that, that's not positive. And I'm really hopeful that things turn out great for him and better. But I'm resigned that I don't know if it's going to turn out that way. So that's where I'm at. Just resigned that things are just going to be the way they are. And you just can't save every puppy in the pound.
Yeah. Kind of right along with you, Al. So I'll give my word today is kind of a hyphenated word. It's self-checked. And if I'm reading your thoughts correctly, Al, the person I'm referring to is probably the same person you're referring to. But I'm in the car with my youngest son on the way back from his football workouts, and he's just talking and talking. You know, sometimes you just like, let me see if he's around. Okay, he's not around. You know, you sometimes be like, I wish this kid would shut the fuck up. And so, but he's just talking about everything, and I'm like, yo, he won't shut up. And I remember having a moment like that with the person you're referring to in your statement, Al, when he was a kid and he was young, and I just remember thinking like, yo, you talk a lot. It just kind of made me check myself in the moment, like, with my son, like at some point, whatever happens in his future, at some point he's not going to be this interested in talking to me. So just check yourself and enjoy the moment, because all kids grow up, and at some point they don't want to talk to you like they used to. So I kind of had to check myself and enjoy the fact that he wanted to talk my ear off. So I will say I'm self-checked right now.
Love it.
Well, I'll go ahead and before it be a little too quiet. Well, after talking to Gina before the show, she kind of made me realize that I feel a little calmness in the room. I do have one of my little girl, one out of the three is gone away to spend time with Nana. So you feel a little different. And I feel a little clear-minded, clear-handed, but in the house it feels a little calm in the house. So that's my word of the day.
Nice.
Okay.
Breaks are good for everybody.
Yes.
I'll dive in. My word is trepidation.
Big word.
Stop.
He come with an SAT word.
Yo, stop. Stop. I can't spell. Are you serious? I keep my Google handy and ready, but keep it handy and ready. But because I have to speak with two big people tomorrow about about a position or two. So, I don't have any fear about going in there and talking to them and give them whatever I have to give them to get the job done. So
claim it. It's yours.
No doubt.
Right.
That's right. You got that.
Defy life, son.
Right.
You already know.
Damn right.
Nadine?
Let's see. So I'm here. Oh, wow. Today. Today's been a pretty long day. Whew. I'm gonna say I don't know. I'm just gonna say I guess my word for today is gonna be love. I'm feeling love in all sorts of ways. Feeling all types of goodness in and around me, and I am incredibly grateful for all the love that I'm continuing to get, not even realizing, like when it's present or that it's even there sometimes, and then it shows up and it's like, oh, right, so just makes you feel all warm and cozy inside when you're loved. So I'm appreciative for all those around me and with me that got my back, my front, my side, and just happy to be here.
Happy to be here. So, we have a very interesting topic today. And as usual, our goal is always to end the conversation still loving and liking each other and wanting to sleep in the same bed. Okay, so let's just keep our eye on the prize, as we have these conversations. Um, and so tonight we are going to talk about swinging and threesomes.
Wow.
Yeah, just how freaky are you? How much you willing to do what you
Wow,
want to do.
wow.
Ow.
No judgment. This is a safe space. No judgment. No judgment.
No judgment, no
Right.
judgment whatsoever.
Right.
So, all right. So, based on what you know, what you think, personal experience, wild guesses, whatever, why do you all think that people swing?
I'll just say it. But first of all, again, no judgment. Not saying right or wrong, but I think obviously you're missing something. You know, if like just like if you can't get good conversation or, cooking, whatever it is, if you get it from somewhere else, if you choose to do that, I think you're missing something. So, there's no judgment if that's your choice, especially if it's okay with your partner and you're open to doing it and you decide and agree to bring someone else in, or you agree to seek out other partners. I still think there's something missing there that you're not getting completely from your partner.
Ladine, do you agree with your husband?
I don't agree with him. So,
Okay.
and I say that just because people just have different viewpoints. They have different, emotions and feelings towards different things. Some people don't prefer to be with one person. There are a lot of open relationships where the man and the woman both either step out or bring people in. So I don't think that it's necessarily that you're missing something. I think some people just, they're not missing anything. They just want to add something extra,
But that means you're missing something then, right?
But that doesn't mean that you're missing something because you want extra. It could just be that you want more. Your spouse can necessarily give you like everything, but you may still want more. So that doesn't mean that you're missing anything. It just means that you still like these things. So for those I see it like this, because for those relationships you might have relationships where people decide in the middle of the relationship that this is something that they want to jump into, right? But then you have other people where they went into this relationship knowing, look, we gonna bring other motherfuckers up in here, and that's it. So it just depends. That's what I'm saying. So if you go into that relationship knowing that you were always going to be bringing other people in, then you weren't missing anything. Yes. And I don't necessarily think that you're missing something because you want to bring other people in. It's not something I prefer. It's not something I choose. But I don't think that others are missing something because they want to bring somebody else in.
Well, that's what I'm
saying. So that's
I
interesting
think...
because as JR was talking, I was thinking, is wanting more the same as missing something? And, it just organically came up in the conversation. So clearly, JR thinks that it's the same thing, and Ladine thinks that it's different. Just real quick, a quick poll. Chiquita, what do you think? Is it the same or is it different?
It's definitely different for me.
Okay. Thomas?
Yeah, I think it's different as well.
Al?
I think missing something, wanting more.
Or just wanting. If you want something, does that mean that you're missing something? Like, are those two the same thing? in this context?
No, I'm gonna say no. They're not the same thing in this context. But I do think it's not a yes or no answer. But yes, I'll comply with your rules and say no.
I didn't have a rule. I just asked the question.
Well, you said it's a yes or no. It's a poll.
Dang!
I'm just trying to keep the flow going. But I just think that by missing, like when you're missing something, you want more. But every time you want more, it's not because you're missing something. So it's like, it's not just a yes or no, but yeah.
It kind of is, though. Like, because if I order something with everything on it and something's missing, I'm going to say, no, something's missing. You didn't give me everything. Right? Like, by definition, if you want more, you're not getting everything you want. There's no way around that.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that it's not the same to me. But it's cool. I just kind of I was just curious as to where people stood. So okay, so we've heard from Ladine and JR, Jaquita and Thomas. Like, why do you think or feel or believe or know or whatever the reason that people are interested in swinging?
I feel like, you have people that are really like, what's the word? Spontaneous. And so they're really like open, like individuals. And they just feel like, not that they're missing anything, but they just want something, I don't know, to keep something going in the marriage, I guess. I'm not for, the open marriage type thing, but I do know people that have open marriages, and then even being around where I used to work before, I was around like a lot of younger girls, and so a lot of them had open relationships, meaning that they bring another female into their relationship. And I used to ask the question like, well, why are y'all doing that? Because I feel like it's just going to bring trouble. And so they felt like it was just something that they just wanted to do to bring more pleasure in the bedroom. So they didn't look at it as he was missing anything. It's just that they wanted to bring more pleasure, more sex, more whatever it may be. Just to fulfill that kind of void, I guess.
Okay. And I think some people may do it because they're missing something. Some people may do it because it's a fantasy of theirs. And some people do it because they just want something different. They could be totally fulfilled. However, they just want something different. And I don't have a lot to say about it, but that's where I stand on it.
Yeah, it's just like bringing toys in the bedroom. Instead of a toy, you got a real person.
That's like Pinocchio, right?
Did you say instead of the toy? It is not like bringing toys into the bedroom. There is a difference.
If you bring like a dildo,
that is a whole human being. That is not a toy.
It just depends how you look at it, though.
If you're bringing a dildo and he performing a dildo or something on you, I feel like
I think your point, Chiquita, is be comparable in my mind. Is all extra instruments in the room.
Instruments.
There we go.
But the problem is not everybody is going to look at it as just an instrument. And I think to Ladine's point, it is a human being, and with humans come emotions, and that's the scary part of it.
Right.
That's it. Yes, that's the scary part of it. But it doesn't have to come with emotions.
No, it doesn't have to.
Well, I don't know when y'all are ready for me to. Because I got something for this. I got something good for this.
Oh no, I want.
But go ahead.
I need to answer I wanted to answer too.
Answer your question. Answer.
So to me, in terms of what is this all about, I think Pooh is kind of going down the right street in the sense of there's a whole lot of different reasons why people do this, and I think this for many folk, and I think the majority of society, when we think marriage, we think monogamy, and I think for everyone, love and marriage doesn't fit the definition, or it's not, monogamy is not part of it. And I think for those people, they just do it for fulfillment of them being happy. I think there are people who, to Jay's, his statement, are not happy at home, and this is not happy in the bedroom, and that's why they do it.
That's not what I said. That's not what I meant. But go ahead.
Okay, I thought when you said missing something, that's what
that's
it was.
Why
they weren't
that's
satisfied.
What I was trying to explain, but go ahead.
Okay, so that's how I took it. But either way, that's my thought. I think there are a segment of people who swing, who bring somebody into the room because they are not satisfied, and to me, it's one of them things that is just real risky. So that's.
Oh yeah, really risky.
Extremely.
I mean, I think it can also depend, because then you might have marriages where you might have a person that might be sick, and they want to bring another person into the bedroom so that their spouse can be pleased, male or female. You know what I mean? So I think it really depends. I know that it can be risky. Of course, it can be risky. But there are so many different situations and circumstances where something like this can come into play, and it's not just I'm not satisfied or I want more. So that's why I meant that in regards to what JR was saying. But
yeah, but I think regardless of what the situation is, and yes, there are lots of scenarios that people may choose to go this route, but regardless of the scenario, is risky.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Even in the case of the one Ladine that you just mentioned,
yes,
it's just risky.
Well, may I add to this a little bit? So, and I wanted to add to this because I know in regards to what we were talking about last week also, and this in regards to this topic period, we have and I'm sorry, in regards to talking about sex and how I kept saying how, sex is so important and sex is so important, right? And instead of just saying sex is important, I want to elaborate of how I see it and what I feel from things that I've read and from my beliefs within energy and spirituality and all of this good stuff. So sex is truly, it's a ritual of exchanging energy. Okay, it's a ritual of exchanging thoughts, emotions, spirits, all of this stuff, right? So during sex, you're like a spiritual sponge for the consciousness of the other person. You know what I'm saying? So sex can be healing. It can be refreshing. It can be recharging. Like you are actually exchanging and supporting the other partner and like recharging their DNA. Like sex is fucking powerful. And that's why for our last two episodes, really, when we talking about sex and and I'm like, no, it's important. I get lost in my words when I start talking sometimes, but that's really what I mean by it's so important. It's like, so when you exchange that energy with someone, and I know that we're talking about a marriage, we're on a marriage podcast and we're married couples, but a lot, we all, there was somebody before marriage for all of us. And so when you are single and when you are, and you have more than one partner, and you really want to think about is, does this person love me? Like, do they love themselves? Like the kind of energy that people come with. Like you can really, people can have demons inside of them that you're not even aware of, and that gets passed towards you and something as beautiful as sex. So to me, sex is a big deal, and it's become it's become so much more of not being a big deal. And I don't know the word I'm looking for right now, but it's just become more casual. It's become more, yeah, let's fuck and that's it. And it's not really it's not honored in the way it should be honored. And maybe for me, just being passionate, just being Scorpio, just loving fucking love, you know what I'm saying? Maybe that's why I see it like that. But to me, sex is so much more powerful and less and yeah, it's definitely not casual. Yes, it can be. It absolutely can be. But the more I grow as a woman, the more I grow in my relationship with my husband, the more I respect it for the power that it has.
So,
Yeah.
so can I ask a question?
Yes.
So you said that it has become casual sex, right?
Mm-hmm.
Don't you think, though, for the majority of human existence, it's been casual?
Yep.
That the majority of human existence, people have looked at sex as just sex?
No.
Okay.
I think that
Like just for pure release, joy, procreation, like for the majority of us, we've been on this earth. I think that's what it was looked at. But I really think probably in the last 100 years, maybe even if you want to say 200 years, it might have shifted. But I really think for the majority of the time that humans had been on the earth, having sex was not what you are describing it as. So I think if anything, it's become what you're describing. But in reality, what it's really been for 99% of when humans have walked this planet, it's been casual.
Okay. Well, I mean,
so that is interesting. But you know what? That's really a whole nother show.
It is.
No, seriously, like real talk. 'Cause I was getting ready to respond to you, but no, we're not going to do that because that's another show. We'll put that on the list.
Write that down. Write that down.
On the list of shows coming to you soon.
Yeah.
However, so given all of what you said, Lady Dean, are you so tell us how you feel about having threesomes and swinging within a marriage?
Well, I mean, it's not something we do.
I'm not asking. Yeah, I'm asking
right,
that.
But as far as so everyone, I mean, because I know people don't feel what I feel. You know what I mean? And I know that a lot of people don't. I know so many individuals that are not connected. So being that other people aren't connected.
Right. No, I'm asking you, given what you feel and everything that you just said and how you feel about sex and blah.
I'm answering, right. So I know that people aren't connected in the ways that I'm connected. So what I'm saying is, with that being said, because it's not, if I don't see an issue with it. And to me, if that's what others want to do and that's what others choose, and if that fucking works for them, then hell yeah, let it work for them. I don't think that there's anything wrong with it until one person might get uncomfortable. Do I think right? Because you might have a couple where you're like, yeah, they've opened up their marriage to people, but then it gets uncomfortable. Then it might be uncomfortable. Say it's a man and a woman, and say the man says he's still wanting this man when he's not around. Then that becomes an issue. But do I think it as? I think people are free to do what they choose. Period. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I don't know, like, kind of the reason, like, what I meant by missing something is, like, not necessarily, of course, those people are included, right? The people that are, like, not getting everything from their spouse, like, the first people we think of when we hear that. What I'm saying is, as well as there are, sometimes that's internal. Sometimes people are missing the energy of other people. Sometimes you're missing the energy of multiple people. Sometimes you're missing the scent of another woman or another man. Like, it can be something internal that you're missing. But that's what I mean by when I say, regardless, I think missing something covers all those. I definitely don't agree that people are free to do what they want to do. I don't think it's that simple. Because I think when you enter an agreement and a contract with another person, you're not free to do what you want to do without consult from that person. So I do think there's a level of agreement that has to be established, not just I can do what I want to do. I don't think that's fair in any kind of contract. But it's. I think in agreement, people can agree to whatever they want to do, and then based off of that, yes, you do what you want. Go ahead, Al.
I was going to say, without an agreement, it's cheating.
Right.
I think when, what we're talking is that, I want to say next level shit, but it's like, to me, it is because it is honest and comes from a place of mutual experience, as opposed to me just doing this on the side and you don't know nothing about it. But swinging and bringing somebody in, we are both aware of it. And then I would assume would be agreeing. I'm assuming agreement in this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, you could swing solo.
True.
Like I could go out by myself and swing or engage in. You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't have to happen as a couple.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean? You engage in 2 other people?
Like I could participate in a threesome.
Right. That's not okay.
I didn't think that's what we were talking about tonight.
No, that's part of it, though.
No, I get it. Right.
But I'm saying you go to a swingers club,
right?
You can go in by yourself, or you can go in as a couple.
True that. That's cheating.
Because I feel
that's cheating. I agree. No,
I feel like that's why you shouldn't. I feel like no one should get involved in swinging and all that stuff unless it's mutual on both ends. Because I feel like now a lot of people are just bringing in the woman for the threesome, but what about bringing in a man for the threesome? You don't see that a lot. So women tend to just cater to the man more and not, catering to herself.
I'm sorry.
Well,
I feel like, but it's like a Jada and Will thing, because I feel like Jada is getting what she is getting. You know what I'm saying? Because all of them thought, everybody thinking they're swinging and all this stuff. Maybe they could be. We really don't know what the secret is. But I do know that they go out and have sex with, whoever they feel like having sex with. Because then both of them are kind of fulfilling what they want. And not just getting half-assed and just getting a woman in the bed and not having both in the bed. So.
Yes.
I don't think it's always the case. It happened. When I was in college, I was working at UPS. I was propositioned by a couple to come to join them, for them to bring a man into their bedroom. I declined.
How was it?
I declined because it was.
I said, how was it?
I declined. It was old white folks, so I wasn't interested. So it was like, sorry, Karen, Bill, I'm gonna have to decline.
Right.
But and not to say at that point in my life I wouldn't have done it if I wasn't like attracted to this dude's wife. You get what I'm saying? It just happened to be no attraction there. But.
So wait, you're saying you would have done it if you were attracted to his wife?
I don't know if I would have. I would like to say no, but I wasn't I would like to say me at my 42-year-old self would like to sit here and say, no, I would never do that. But I don't know what I would have done at 20. I don't know. So I can't say. But I know that the reason I didn't, and it didn't go any further, because there was no attraction. I don't know what would have happened if there was some kind of attraction there. I don't know. I would have had to get past that step. But I don't know. But to me, I guess and that's why I say I would like to think that, because I take like marriage, and this is just how I think, to that seriously, where like if I'm gonna marry you, goddammit, you better know I ain't trying to be out in these streets no more, or even try to like not get something from somewhere else. That's just how I feel. as far as like where I am when I get married. So that's why I feel that, like, you know, that would never be on the table for me. And then also, I think something is missing when you go, like, regardless of what you say and how you put it, something's missing, whether externally or internally, something's missing there.
And I guess where I feel about it, I do think, marriage is definitely sacred. However, I mean, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. If it's okay with her, if it's okay with him, and there's where their relationship lies. If they're in tune with that, then they're in tune with that. I mean, I'm not gonna frown upon them or anything if they want to rock like that. So if that's what they want, I feel like that's what they want. However, I'm
know
not
couples who've done it and who swing,
right,
and who have done it before, and never have I heard like it turn out a good experience.
Turn out good, right.
So even of course, nobody knows the details, nobody knows the truth, but Will, Jada, and August. But even in that situation, Will was quick to step up and say, "No, that didn't happen."
Right, I didn't say that.
Right. So he felt the need to defend his wife stepping out on him. So, I've never seen, like, I've seen, dudes that I know a couple couples that were, brought women into their bedroom. But to Keita's point, the minute the wife decided that she wanted to bring another dude in, she went left. So I've never seen it come out like all smiles on the end.
So I'm pretty conflicted, I think, because I feel like for some couples who believe in polygamy or polyamorism or whatever it's called, I think it could work. I think in certain cultures, society, certain people, even here in the United States, it just really could depend on what you believe in. I think it's possible for it to be a wonderful situation. I do think that most people, particularly in the West, are not, I don't know, what's the word? I don't know, evolved enough, maybe sophisticated enough, maybe, or silly enough. I don't know, whatever it is, to really be able to make it work. Like, I feel like it sounds really good to a lot of people. But in reality, like, it's just too much stuff gets in the way that makes it a viable situation for everybody to remain happy in the majority of the time. On the flip side, I think that it's just so dangerous until, for most people, I don't even think it should matter what you want to do. Like, it's just, what do you need to do to keep your marriage together? And for most people, it's not involving other people in the bedroom. The shit just does not seem to work the majority of the time.
And I think so much of it is because of how we've been raised. We've been, to your point about, Western culture, I think we've been taught that with love, you almost is like property, almost like there's to see someone else touch somebody that you love, for most of us wouldn't be a good thing. It would be something that we would be like, what the fuck? Like, come on, yo. Even if that person is getting pleasured and happy, we would sit back and I think with that raising, with that upbringing, it's really hard for two people, because one of them is going to resort back to the way they was raised and be like, you know what? Fuck that, man. Like, yo, take your hands off my husband. It's just, yeah. I don't think we're ready as a society.
Right, and like,
most of us.
Jenna mentioned like not evolved enough, and it made me think maybe we're not devolved enough, because like monogamy and marriage is a and the way we see it is fairly new. So as Al mentioned earlier, like from our existence, most of our existence has been, casual sex and multiple partners and, polygamy and like all that. So maybe we're too evolved to go back to how humans naturally interact with each other sexually. Don't know. Just a thought.
Yeah, well, I hope that is not the case.
Scary.
That we're right, just a little bit. All right, we've got some bills to pay. And speaking of bills to pay, we do have a patron of the week. So thank you, Stacy Lipscomb, for helping us to pay our bills. We really appreciate your support. We'll be back in 45 seconds to continue the conversation. Stay tuned.
We're told that greatness is exceptional when it should be expected. You choose every day to live your life intentionally, without apology for how bright your light may shine. So go be great. Go be brilliant. Go be you. Go defy life. The Defy Life movement is one that speaks to each of us in its own way. Defy Life Gear speaks to us all by reminding us that one size does not fit all. Visit defylifegear.com to get fitted for greatness.
So thanks for staying tuned. We have been engaged in a conversation about swinging and threesomes and marriage and how we feel about that whole type of scenario. So far, I think I've heard every couple to say that they are not fans of it for themselves personally. I think I know we've had at least one person to say it's up to the individuals. I guess I kind of said that too. But anyway, we have determined that none of us are fans of it for ourselves personally. So let me ask you, what if your spouse came to you and propositioned you with the whole idea of swinging? What do you think you would feel? Like, you've already said that your answer would be no. Like, we already know that you're going to say no. At least according to what you said, like, before the break. But, there might be a pre-break response and then a post-break response. I don't know. So, if your response has changed, go ahead and let us know. But if not, just, like, what would you feel? Like, what would be your first thoughts if she or he came to you and was like, "Yo, babe, let's go to Trapeze," which is a comic swinging spot down here in Atlanta.
Oh, really? How you know that?
Stop acting.
Oh, really?
Stop acting.
A little post-show conversation gonna happen.
That's how you gonna do? Okay. What were you gonna say, Nadine? I think I heard you. And
so what I was gonna say is that like, all right, so if my husband came to me, so I guess this isn't really like, so if if somebody want to pay my husband $1 million, we telling you right now, and this is an indecent proposal, we might have to talk about that, because
yo,
how about a Happy Meal?
Yo, Nadine, and I'm putting it out there. And
look, I'm putting it out there,
and has that movie, right? Yo, boo. We ain't got to talk about shit. You better come home with that $1 million, okay?
Yeah, you better come home with that money.
That's one decision.
I could get you a Bible, clear all them spiritual energies off of you. We can make it work, all right? Don't even ask me.
Do what you need to do. They come back with that $1 million, or we gonna have a problem. I'm just
right. Then we gonna have a problem.
Then we gonna have a problem. But anyway. I'm sorry.
So me getting with another woman, if there's a financial gain, it's okay.
No. Not just financial gain, because I heard you say your little Happy
Oh,
Meal.
no, I was just joking. But a
Nah.
significant financial gain, $1 million.
$1
Hell yeah, you have my permission. Come home with $1 million.
So, Lay,
Right
is that the
now.
cutoff though? If it's $1 million, anything under that is not okay.
No, we're not
What's your
saying
cutoff?
that.
I just want to
Six
know.
figures?
Anything other than that, you got to call me. We got to talk about it.
Oh, but if
But
it's $1
then-
million, I ain't even got to call you.
You ain't even got to call.
You
Just
word.
come. Hey, guess what?
With
Yo,
one,
not
that's
only
it.
don't you have to call, but when the $1 million gets deposited in the bank, I ain't even gonna ask you a motherfucking question.
So if I get
100K?
so if I get
I said
if I
$1
get
million.
duped,
Oh, he's asking 100K. Can I? Can
100K?
No,
100K, I'm good.
100K?
100K?
Did you hear what Ladine said? But you know
Okay.
what? We are getting off of
True.
the top.
But I'm
100K,
asking for research
100K.
purposes. So what if I get duped and $1 million don't clear?
No.
She promised. She said.
She said I didn't even have to call. So if I
No,
get
it's
duped
got to
in $1
clear
million,
first. It's got to clear first. We're not stupid.
This is 2020. You got to be smarter than that, boo-boo.
Right.
I'm saying
I
now
need
you putting.
that wire transfer. Anywho.
So
Oh.
back to
So
Back
now
to
you
the
get to pimp me.
question.
You get to pimp me out and make the
hand.
rules now. Okay.
at hand. Shit, you can pimp me. Well, not you.
Damn.
My husband can pimp me
Al, I
out for
split it
$1
with you.
million too.
Al, I even give you $600K. I'll take $400K. If
Shit, you got see now you bugging.
Wait, really quick, because Keita didn't answer. Keita, you gonna give you that money for poo? You gonna take that $1 million?
Well, when I was in college, and a couple of us was in college, we were asked to do porn, and but you didn't have to show your face.
Oh Lord!
And it was just $2,000.
Nah, they
No, that's not.
It was just about $2,000 to do a flick, but you didn't show your face. I denied it. A lot of people were debating, so that's something.
Debating? What was they
Could at least
debating?
gave you tax return money.
Well, you were
$2,000
broke
for
in
20-year-olds.
college. That is
Okay.
a lot of money.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
is.
$2,000 was a lot
And
of
that
money.
and they knew that y'all young folks was gonna think like that. That's why they
Yes, they had a lot of people on campus that actually did it, but you couldn't see their faces anyway. But oh, definitely. If we got money on the table, definitely. Now, would you have your husband be there so he can look at you?
Hell no. No, that's not happening. It's not possible. No, Papi, I'm
I think that's what we're talking about is the swinging
Right?
part.
So wait, Ladine, why do you have such a strong reaction to her question?
Okay, so it's not all right because
Hey, Ladine, give me the short version.
all right. I'm my husband's piece. That's right. I'm his piece. He doesn't want to see me with anybody else. He's not going to want to see me with anybody else.
First of all, how we get to
Wait,
that?
why you
The
talking
question
for
was
him? I'm asking you about your perspective.
No, I would not because I see that as disrespectful.
What's disrespectful? I don't get this. What are we talking about here?
We're talking about if someone offered you $1 million to sleep with me, and I had the opportunity to give it to him in front of you, would I be doing that? No,
Right,
I would
that-
not have sex in front
that-
of you.
So wait, so
that's
you
my
would turn
point.
away the $1 million?
Right, that's my point. My po-
So if it was a requirement, I'm sorry, Jay, go ahead.
No, my point is that the question was never posed to me. The question was posed to you. If we get a meal for me to do something with somebody, I never answered the question. Like, I would never be up for that meal. Like me and Al and Pooh already said, money ain't swinging us like that. Money don't. So $1 million, whatever it is, the shit ain't okay with me. So that's never gonna be a situation because I'd walk before I let any of that shit matter to me. So it wouldn't matter Like me being there watching you would never be a situation because I wouldn't be a part of it. That's what I'm saying. I was never posed. I never answered the question, so that wouldn't
Did
even
Al
be a thing.
and Thomas answer the question?
But this is a.
I just know Al and Pooh like that.
They quiet. You done put them on the boat.
They ain't put me on the boat. That's just between you and him.
Al already said money ain't $1 million ain't swinging.
So now let me finish answering my hypothetical question, Gina. No is the answer. I am not doing that in front of him.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. Like,
So, but if I heard you correctly, Jr., this is a different question. Jake, Keita just asked. What she's answering is hypothetically, would she do it in front of you with somebody else for this million, even if the $1 million was involved? And so I thought I heard you say, Ladine, that you would do it for the $1 million. Yes?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Right.
So now I hear you saying, well, wait. So it's not disrespectful for you to get the $1 million. And it is only for you to do it to get the $1 million.
But what everybody's like, what I'm saying is what everybody's missing here is that it ain't like that's not anybody's decision. It ain't my decision if I want to have my wife watch me. That's her decision. Like I can't make her do anything regardless of how much money it is.
That's about you.
No, yes, it is. Like what I'm saying.
It's not about you.
No, I'm not saying it is about me. What I'm saying is nobody on this conversation can, regardless of how much money's involved, it's not their decision of who's going to watch them. It's the person who's watching who's going to make that decision, right?
It is.
Only in real life situations.
Oh, that's what I deal with. I'm sorry.
We said hypothetically.
I'm sorry. I have trouble with hypotheticals. Go ahead.
Clear.
Because they never make sense to me. But okay, go ahead.
He does. They never make sense to him. But
they don't make sense. It's always some.
Okay, so Ladine, you can disrespect him as long as he's not there for $1 million. But if he's there, you can't disrespect him for $1 million. That's all I want to know.
That's right.
Okay. Gotcha.
Hey, this is sex call.
I'm sorry. It just depends. Look, and so like as far as like what as far as the hypotheticals, Jay, it's just like so if they excuse me. Yeah. So as far as like a swinging conversation, the way Keita was, I think, trying to put it was, okay, well, let's add the swinging into this indecent proposal. So what if they want you to watch or they want me to watch? That's really all the question was. Mm-hmm. So how does anybody else feel about that? Al, Pooh, what's happening?
What's happening, Al? Pooh.
I'll let Pooh go first.
This is $1 million now.
Like this is what I'm saying. Like even they made a movie about this, and even that shit didn't work. And even that shit didn't work out. Like they actually made a movie. That shit didn't work out. So
Thomas and I, we going to Pandora's box. We about to do it in front of everybody.
Yes, but that was one movie, one situation. You know how many situations it probably does work out for? And I'm not saying
that's the only one I'm aware of, and it didn't.
I'm just saying, you think people don't pay for people? Okay. You think people don't pay big bucks for free?
I don't speak in hypotheticals. I speak in the shit that I've seen and I know of. I know that shit didn't work out, and it was a movie. They could have chosen that shit to go any way they wanted to. Even the fucking movie know that shit ain't working out.
Okay, Jay, we know what your point is on this. I want to hear the guys.
They're not talking. Don't y'all want me to sit here in silence and we're going to have silent radio? They're not talking. They already said it.
Go ahead, Al.
They passing the shit back and forth.
I know, right?
Like, so, this is a podcast. We have to talk. So if they're not talking, somebody got to talk.
Go ahead. What say you, Pooh?
What's being asked of me?
I don't even know anymore.
Pooh,
we want to know a few things. In any of the above, right? The original question was, how would you feel if Chiquita stepped to you and was like, yo, I want to bring somebody else in, or I want to go to a swingers club, blah, blah, blah.
I'm out.
Then,
Don't say that because
Out.
Jay said he out.
I'm out because she said you want to go to a swingers club. I don't want to go.
But it's $1 million on the line.
Wait.
But she didn't get to that.
Wait. Before, no, I didn't get to the $1 million yet. I didn't get to $1 million.
Once she said we're going to the swingers club, I'm out.
Wait. Hey, yo.
Okay.
So when you say I'm out, what does that mean? Like you're leaving her?
No, I mean we're not going to the swingers club.
Okay, but how would you feel about the fact that she asked you?
How would I feel about?
Yeah.
I would
kind
of.
She asked you, like.
I would feel like she just slapped my face. You know, what do you want to go to a swingers club for? I mean, I of course I hear her out, but I wouldn't like it. I wouldn't like it.
What if she wanted to go to the swingers club just to watch?
Just to watch?
Just to watch.
You can go just to watch, but go ahead.
Yes, you can.
Yeah. I've heard of people going to watch. Yeah.
You can. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we can watch. Yeah, we can watch.
Okay. Chiquita, does that surprise you?
No, because I know he's being a little too. Thomas will be down for it.
Down for you be going to
if
sex with people?
If I ask you, then let's go to a.
What is happening right now?
What?
If I ask you,
and I thought that the Twilight show was the bad one.
You will say, well, I'll go ahead and see what you're talking about. You at least go to it.
No,
you
she
just
said
not
if
gonna
you
flat
say,
out tell me no.
Yeah, I said no, I'm out. But if she said, you know what, let's go check it out so we can watch people. I'll go. You know what I'm saying? But by you saying let's go, then my antennas up, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not. No, I don't want to go do that. But if you say, hey, you know what, let's go, whatever, let's go watch.
No, I'm a clean type person, and I know swinging is definitely not my goal. I smell things.
You said clean?
Yeah, I'm a clean person.
Okay,
so even in regards with sex, like you have to wash, you got to wipe. It's like a whole little ritual thing with me. So I know swinging is not something that I'm definitely won't be.
Because you think strangers is dirty?
Yeah, I'll just think it's what I'm saying. I don't want to be smelling other people's stuff. Like
it don't have to be strangers. Like there are best friends, there are neighbors that swing. It doesn't have to be like a public situation.
And there's showers.
They stink.
Then they might don't eat a lot of fruit, so I know it's not a good.
Not the diet.
I'm saying, like, you know them to know y'all hang out, so you know what their diet is like. You know that they clean people. You know, like these.
She just ain't taking the chance. That's what she said.
She won't smell nobody else's stuff. I hear
ain't
you.
no skunky spunk around her.
No. I hear you. All right, Al. What about you? I don't think we heard from you.
Oh, boy. So how would I feel if my spouse, aka you, stepped to me? How would I feel? I think I would feel, I think I wouldn't trust it. Like, I think I would feel, I wouldn't trust. I would have a lack of trust. I wouldn't trust that. I don't know if I could trust, like, just a setup. I don't know if this is
like me set you up.
Yeah. Is she testing me here? Don't fall for it, son. Don't fall for it. Is it you trying to? Then it's like, then maybe a lack of trust of like. I don't know if I can trust who I am in this marriage. Like, hold on now. Like, what did I do wrong? Like, why is it like it wouldn't? Yeah, I think that's how I feel. I wouldn't, it's like I would have a lot of doubt. And so when I have a lot of doubt, I tend to go the other direction. So I would probably think, that's not a good idea for you ain't feeling, the signs ain't there, son. And say no. And kind of like when they say think with the head above your shoulders and not the one between your legs. So it's kind of like, yeah, you might enjoy it, maybe not, who knows. it's a whole lot of fun down that road, but is it going to turn out good? Probably not. So pass. So that's what I would feel. I wouldn't. I wouldn't be down for it.
Have y'all talked about this before? Like before? Two befores. Before this show? Or before we knew we were going to talk about this topic?
No, not before the show.
Oh, no,
Yes,
no.
we have talked about it in our relationship.
We've talked about it before when the the football player was.
He said when.
I'm talking about not for us to do it. I'm just saying like other people swinging, like bringing other people in to their relationship. And we was like, oh no, we'll never do that. Like I don't see that going anywhere. See, his mind is so bad. Remember the football player and the girlfriend was bringing the another woman in the bedroom. Then we was like, wow, I'm not gonna tell you what football.
No,
player.
I didn't say what football player. I'm just like,
well, we'll talk about it afterwards because you can't.
Yeah. You're right.
Oh my god.
Good answer. Good answer.
Yeah. We did converse on this. You're right. Why are you looking at me like that?
That is hilarious.
Sad. Real sad.
JR and Ladine, had y'all spoken about it before at any point in y'all's relationship?
Yeah, very briefly, because we both immediately said it was a no.
So Al, I was kind of, I don't know about surprised or I don't know, but I was wondering what your response was going to be, like if we had talked about it before, because if you were talking a little bit ago, I was wondering like if you remembered me approaching you with the opportunity.
I can't say I explicitly remember the conversation or when or how long ago. I know it has happened.
Yeah, so I I thought it would be interesting, I don't know, to go to this swingers club as spectators. But Al wasn't with it, and honestly, I am, here goes my word of the day, grateful. Because he was wise enough to know at the moment that was not something that we needed to participate in. We were not, I don't know if ready is the right word, but I don't think that it would have served us well at all at that time. So, kudos to you, boo.
Salute.
My glass is empty, but I'll clink with you. I'm just saying. All right, so I was hoping that we was going to get a juicy story tonight from somebody who had some personal experience, but because since there's no judgment on the show, we absolutely welcome people to allow themselves to be vulnerable and to tell us to give us some deeper peeks into your lives, but I guess this wasn't the subject for that to happen on. So,
This would have been a great opportunity to have a guest couple on the show that has done it, that has had great experiences, right?
Well, we can always revisit.
If we can find somebody.
Revisit, but I can tell you honestly that I don't know anybody, and I think somebody had said earlier that they didn't know anybody, and which was kind of the premise of their argument, right? That usually doesn't turn out well.
Right.
So I don't know.
I don't know anybody who, for one, will be willing to talk about it, and two, that it's turned out well. But that's the beauty of the podcasting world. There's somebody that does anything in podcasting, so we can find somebody.
Right, that's what I'm saying. There's somebody out there that got the scoop, and we want some of your scoop.
We getting listeners every week, so if y'all know somebody,
right, we got the plug.
Holla at us. Get at us.
then maybe we've got a couple of that I can think of, a couple of potential topics that came out of this week's session that we will probably introduce at some point.
What would
So
you do
keep
for
listening.
$1 million? Oh, sorry.
Woo! How much would you sell your soul to the devil for? I'm saying, y'all just keep listening. We've got lots of great shows coming up. We'll see you next week. Same time, same station. Good night, y'all.
Peace.
Good night, y'all.
Peace.
Welcome to the Anything, Everything, and Nothing podcast with Lynn and Kim. Join us as we discuss the latest in everything from entertainment and current events to the craziness that is our real life.
Let's laugh, let's live, let's talk about it. New episode every Tuesday on the Defy Life Podcast Network. And remember, if you're not defying life, then what are you doing? Lynn and Kim.